Meet the tribe where only women exist and no man is allowed. The prominent lady has already established an entire society dedicated only to females, and no man, not even one, is allowed or permitted to enter. Umuja. Umuja in Kenya Samburu region is an excellent example of this. This is where Rebecca Lolosoli grew up. She is the sole one who founded a female-only community. Rebecca was in an emotionally abusive relationship 30 years ago when she was abused and degraded as if she were a second-class citizen. When she looked outside, though she saw she was not alone, she was not the only woman who had been raped and tormented. It is usual for young children to marry, and it is even more frequent for some of them to have their genitals on organs, from them to have their genital organs chopped and damaged. When a female reaches the age of marriage, Samburu customs dictates that she become disfigured. Nobody replied when Rebecca requested that the authorities protect them from their husbands. The rest of the civilized world turned a blind eye to them. Then she and a group of 14 other women decided to create their own universe on the spur of the moment. Then they declared that they no longer needed men since they could accomplish it on their own. All the males around them wondered how they would ever live on their own, despite the fact that they're all females, and women are known to be susceptible. Rebecca and her ladies managed to prove everyone wrong. When they started building the village, she chose the Umuja plot of land, which means togetherness. They built everything from the ground up. She created homes out of clay and wood as well as handcrafted jewelry. She founded a school for the biological children and they teach women to believe in themselves as ladies, even if they do not have husbands. Without the presence of men in their own small world, they sing, play, and raise the children alone inside this society. When tourists came to visit them, no man, including their own loved ones, is allowed to live there, and male teenagers are not allowed to stay with them until they turn 18. If they follow the rules set by powerful women, they'll be mutilated. Several males were initially envious, so they formed their own little villages next door to keep tourists out. They also went into Umoja and harassed the women, but Rebecca and the rest of the gang held their ground. They saved some money and eventually bought the entire town. Umoja presently boasts over 100 members, all of whom are accomplished businesswomen. That is exactly what happens when women are given opportunities. They succeed, they build societies, they reign, they run businesses, and they achieve success. Women, on the other hand, are rarely given the opportunity to demonstrate their worth. Building a community in this setting was not easy for Rebecca, and in this setting, it took a lot of devotion and perseverance. Authorities, particularly in rural areas, must adopt rules and give opportunities for women. Parents must teach their sons to value women so that women will be treated with respect in the future, not just in this town, but around the world. You can see it is everywhere that women will come outside and tell you that is a man's word. Women will come outside and tell you there's a man's word. Men will come out to tell you it's a woman's word because at the end of the day, they will say they slave for the women. Now, the thing is, in this particular part of the world, they don't value women. Let me put it like that. They talk down on women, they beat women, you understand? And like I said, this in this part of the world, or this my home place. And it still happens here in our country, Africa, what's it called? I said Africa, Nigeria. It still happens. There are some places where a woman's place, they will tell you a woman's place is in the kitchen. You dare not give your advice whenever they are gathering. You dare not do. There are things you don't do and there are things you don't say. You know, it is like you are putting in a box. And believe me, anybody who is boxed up does not thrive. Even a tree, if you plant a seed, the seed you have to take it root down to the ground, spread in the floor before coming out to give you a beautiful, fruitful tree, right? Good. If women's are, if not just women, if you're put in a particular box, believe you me, you're not going to thrive. You're not going to be able to spread out. I'm not going to be able to. But this is a very bold step. And to be it's very interesting how she was able to do that without any single help from the man. Do you understand? I think her message today, it tells us as women that we can actually, find strength for women who are in situations where they make them feel less of themselves. They make them feel as if they're not worth enough. They make them feel, yeah, this thing I'm telling you, there are women who, in their families, they're not being respected because they're not male. They're not permitted to go to school. Not just in Nigeria here, all over the world. They're not permitted to go to school. They're not permitted to dream and actually go and chase after the dream. A lot. They're not permitted to do a lot of things. Do you understand? And it shows that you can do it. All the whole fight and all the whole principalities and powers, let me use principalities and powers against you, that you can actually do what? You can live the life of your dreams, provided you are determined enough and you're stubborn enough to go after it. So I know some people will start asking, how do they procreate? They don't just live with the men. Do you understand? I think if they go out, that thing of you do anyhow, you won't do anyhow, come harass them for marriage, they don't do it anymore. I think, but they can actually go outside and get married, have children, but don't live with the men. I think that is it. I think that's how they survive, because they said children too are involved. So it's just that they just want, these people, they don't even want so much. They don't want wahala. Don't come and give us unnecessary heat. Don't degrade us, you understand? Just leave us. You understand me? They're not asking for too much. You understand? They're not asking for too much. Some people are coming out to say it's home of lesbians. It's not home of lesbians. Because like I said, they give birth to children. Lesbians do not give birth to children. And your mind don't spoil. If there is no togetherness, how can they live well? Who is building their houses for them? The women build their houses by themselves. The village remains primitive, illiterate and crude. That woman coordinator is drawing them to backwardness. The UN and other international organizations should intervene and liberate them. You know, see your mouth. You make them go back to slavery, where then they beat them up and then they chop up their genital organs, like say they use and do experiments. I beg. You have not been there. You have not been in their shoes. I've watched little from the documentary from those people and little from movies that portray what women in this kind of communities go through. And believe in me, you are going to be thankful that you're not given back to as a woman in that community. Alright, on this note, you've come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. Until I come your way next time.